This is Akashvani. Time for a weekly program, Our Guest. I hand over the mic to the show host, Nitish Arora, for the same.
To defend yourself is your primary objective in life apart from all other duties that are there in any scriptures. And for defense, you need to have some knowledge. It's not for aggression, but to defend yourself from the enemies, from the attackers, possible attackers, and for the general benefit of the humanity. That's how martial arts in various parts of the world developed. One such martial art is the Gatka, and we have with us Ranjeet Singh ji, who is an exponent of Gatka. He started learning it almost 2 decades ago, and then he started imparting knowledge of Gatka to other students. Ranjeet ji, welcome to Akashvani. Welcome to our guest.
Thank you, Nitish ji.
First of all, we would like to know exactly what Gatka as a martial art is.
So, Gatka, we can say, is one of the ancient traditional martial art of Indian history, and which is being practiced till now. And it has its roots with the Sikh heritage, and it's known as the Sikh warfare, Sikh techniques of the warfare, where different sort of weapons are used. Weapons even at the size of your finger, till the weapon of 5 feet long, are used, and different sort of weapons which have different techniques. So a Gatka martial art expert knows n number of techniques to handle different sort of weapons, not only to attack the enemy or the opponent, but also to defend himself from the opponent, as well as to carry that weapon in a way that his own weapon should not harm him.
So initially its introduction and why it was important was kind of an aggression. It was a technique of war. But now later on it has changed into more of sport and demonstrative sports.
Exactly. So in the past history of India, because India is a multicultural diverse country, and there are a lot of invasions by different powers in past also, in our history also, and different communities from the different parts of the country. We take example of Marathas. They have their own sort of martial arts. We have Kalaripatu from the south of India. Similarly, it started from the times of the Sikh Gurus from the Punjab. So Sikh Gurus, right from the second Guru, Guru Angad Dev Ji, they started promoting the culture of Mal Akhadas, which we see as Akhadas in today's trend also, where the wrestling, which is known as the modern name, the Kushti in Indian name, is an ancient sports also. And then when we ascended towards the sixth Guru, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, who have laid down the Akal Takht Sahib, the first fort of the Sikhism, they actually announced the two concepts. One is the saint and another is the warrior. So saint and soldier, Sant or Sipahi. So for which they told we need two type of sword. One sword of saint, that how to control our aggression, how to be spiritual and wise, and another sword which is of soldier, that if someone is attacking or being cruel on someone who is poor people or those who are underprivileged, it is our moral duty to protect them and to raise our voice against the evil.
So when we talk about Gatka, when did this all started? What was the time period when it started? Who started it and who later on furthered it?
So it exactly started from Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the sixth Guru of Sikhism. Because why it started, the reason was the fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, was martyred on a hot plate. And after that, it was declared by sixth Guru, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, that now it is not time of giving martyrs. Now it is time to raise a sword against the evil. So from there, this all things started, and Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji announced that now I want people who are skilled in warfares, who want to learn warfare. I want people who want to ride horses, who want to do the horse riding. Because all those things were actually banned at that era by the emperors. That no one from a special religious side, other than that religious side, can actually do the horse riding, not keep the dastar, pagdi, cannot actually wear the weapons. So then Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji announced that I want these all things to be part of tradition within the Indian culture as a part of Sikhism. So from there, that all training of martial art, which we call as Gatka, has started. Today, even if Nitish, you see that when Gatka is practiced, it is practiced with a stick which is in a shape of sword. That stick we actually call Gatka. The stick with the cushion and a long-headed stick with handle is actually called as Gatka. That weapon was used to practice to actually work with the sword in the real warfare, so that the injuries should be minimum during the practice. So from there the Gatka
So initially it
martial
was
art.
a sword, now it is a stick.
Yes, at that time also it was stick. So
Okay.
in ancient period also for the practice, that stick was formulated into the shape of the sword, so that during the practice for a newcomers the injury should be minimum, and once they are skillful then they are handed over the sword. Today also we
So the practice equipment is different from
exactly
what is actually used during the
exactly
war or during the match.
exactly.
So from the fifth Guru Sahib, this progressed. Is it in the same shape, or then later on it changed, developed further, and more weapons were added into it? What are the kind of weapons now
Yes.
used, and the weapons that were used at that time?
Yeah. So weapons of all types were used, right from the rifles till the swords, till the kirpan, till the knife, katar, everything. And when it originated from sixth Guru, every weapon was introduced, and different weapons from different cultural part of India were used. Like Marathi is one of the weapon which is being used in Gatka and is being used from ancient. But its name will actually mention Marathi, means it is a weapon which came from the
Marathas.
Marathas. So all different type of weapons, and Sikhism is all about learning. Sikhi is about learning. Sikh, that every day we learn new thing, and whatever was best was included. And there is a lot of examples. Even the cannons were used in many wars. The cannons of wood were used in many wars. So all those things, even when there were Britishers or other Englishmen were there, their techniques were also used to make the army skilled and to work. Until the Sikh emperor, which was there by Maharaja Ranjeet Singh, new modification keep
Kept on
on coming,
coming.
keep on coming. So that was something which was there, and you will be glad to know the weapons. Even today, we take pride about our shooters, the archers in India. That India is now looking towards the upward in the archery, and we have a lot of examples in India. Guru Gobind Singh Ji used to be a skillful archer also, and in every arrow of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, there was some part of gold in it, and it had a message that whosoever is going to be killed with my arrow, that gold can be used for his last rituals. Whosoever is injured with that arrow, he should be taken care for his well-being and all the treatment with that gold. So this is how the part of saint and the soldier came into coordination. Even if we are attacking an enemy, we are not against a person, we are against the
Evil.
evil acts which are happening.
Ranjit ji, I understand that lots of modifications and changes took place. At that time, point of time, it was required to have those martial skills
Yes,
for not only defense but attack also.
exactly.
But now it's limited to defense and more of sport. So, what are the weapons that are used now, which is regular mandatory weapons for anybody to perform the skill if there is a competition or even for a demonstration purpose?
Yeah. So Nitish, you have highlighted very important point. So there are basic two rules in Gatka, Sikh martial art. One is defense, another is attack. So we have to be accurate in defense. We have to be accurate in attack, because until you are defending yourself, you will be there in the war ground. Once your defense is weak, you are gone. Same thing has been replicated into the Gatka sports. So Gatka sports efforts have been started way back since 2007, and now you are seeing it is taking its shape. So two important parts in Gatka sports are the rules which are formulated. It only works around the attack and defense. So whenever if me and you are playing, and the major fights, two type of fights, team and individual fights which are played in Gatka sports. One is the single stick fight, or we call it as single soti fight. Another is furry stick fight. So stick fight is basically it is a form of sword in wood which we call as gatka. So both the opponent has only stick with in their hand. They have to defend with the stick, they have to attack with the stick. In furry stick they have one shield which is of sponge, and they have another stick of wooden. So they have to defend with the furry, that is sponge, and they have to attack with the stick. So both are technically different game, but the basic principle is you have to attack and you have to defend. If me and you are the competitors, when you are attacking me, I can't attack you. I have to first defense, then I have to attack you. So I have to first defend and then attack you.
Apart from the sticks, so what other?
Yes, the other weapons which are used in sports is for the demonstration purpose. So those weapons used for demonstration purpose are all the weapons like swords. So we call it as tal kirpan in Gatka language.
Dhal is
Yes,
again
is the
defense,
shield and the
kirpan is
sword.
okay.
And then we have Marathi. I talked about that. We have the weapons like chakkar, so which is a basically A jal, nowadays we use it in a rope form. In the ancient warfare, it was of steel wires and it was used to defend the arrows from the opponent's side.
Okay.
So it was rotated in a speed that whenever the arrows used to come, it gets stuck into that and were actually
The target were missed.
Yes. So there are many weapons. So we call bichua, the kirpan, which we Sikhs wear as a code of conduct of baptism. That kirpan has a different form of martial art which is called as bichua. So in that we use that one single-handed kirpan for attack and we defend the other opponent with our hand. So I always talk about this weapon and this form of art in nowadays scenario which is happening around the world. At least female should know that, because this is something which can defend them from the evil things which are happening around our society.
So this is now a well-established martial art of India, and we saw its introduction in the national games also recently. I think in the Goa national games,
Yes.
these were there. How do you see the future of this as a sport?
So as I've told, it's a long journey. So we are there in Khelo India, we are there in school games, we are there in inter-universities are happening regularly. National game you have talked about which happened in Goa, and now the vision is also the good news is that recently on 20th of December Python games has happened. So Gatka was also part of Python games. This is a
That was
recent
in
good
Panchkula.
news. Yes, and now the vision is Olympics and Asia Games. So maybe soon we all will be there, and this will be a proud for of our country, our culture, that our cultural game Sikh martial art Gatka will be in Olympics as part of, and you can see the intensity. How many people from India will be required at international level to train those people who want to come into Gatka?
And you already are having Gatka Olympiad. That's a separate event. What is that?
So Gatka Olympiad actually has not flourished well right now. So it is on a very nascent stage right now. So I can't talk more about it because recently Python was the focus which has qualified now. So now the next level is Asian Olympics only.
Friends, I think with this 15 minutes of our guest program, I tried to introduce you all to this sport of Gatka, which is a martial art developed, which was required at that point of time in history, and now it is again on the brink of making another history, as Ranjit ji told us that we are trying to include this in Asian Games as a sport and also at Olympics, which is possible given the kind of drive and initiative that various organizations are taking into this. Ranjit ji, as I was supposed to introduce him to you at very beginning, he started playing Gatka in 2003,
Yes.
almost 2 decades ago, and then you started teaching it in 2007.
Exactly.
So, how are you associated with Gatka now as we wind up, and anything more that you want to
Yes.
let our listeners know?
So from 2003, during my college time in Amritsar, Khalsa College, Amritsar, I started learning Gatka. Till 2007, I learned that, and suddenly I don't know how it happened that when I went back to my hometown, someone came from Punjab to held a Gatka camp, and then they met me, they knew me because their Gatka camp was for 15 days, and then they told me you are skilled and you are known, now you start teaching, and then I got permission to teach, and from there my journey of teaching Gatka, working with Gatka Federation of India, National Gatka Association of India, all those organizations, J&K Gatka Association, all those associations I've worked. And important point which I want, this is my journey and I'm very excited to still be with Gatka and working for it wherever possible at my personal level. You will be glad to know Punjab government has accredited it for students. It has a credentials. Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, these are the governments which are giving cash prize to the medalist of Gatka. So game is being flourished at state level. And my key message for all the audience which are listening to it, the way we are actually encouraging our kids to other martial art forms, let us also encourage our kids towards Gatka, because this is our heritage, this is our culture, and Gatka is going to be future of India.
Gatka is going to be future of India. On that note, we take part from you, Ranjit ji. So very glad you made it to the studios of Akashvani. And I think there are lots and lots of things that still need to be known about this, but we'll continue with our endeavor.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to the weekly program Our Guest that is broadcast every Monday at 9:15 a.m. Don't forget to tune in next week, same day, same time and same frequency for more on Our Guest. Have a nice day.